We're going to talk about some easy mindfulness techniques that you can practice in and out of the classroom. The first technique is called box breathing. If you place your finger on the blue dot in the top left corner, take a deep breath and count to 4. Then move your finger to follow the arrows and let out your breath. Breathe in at each corner and hold until you reach the count of 4. I really like this one because you can use this with your paper if you're in class, or you can even draw a square on your paper and practice box breathing throughout the day. Triangle breathing is very similar to box breathing. You start by putting your finger on the dot and take a deep breath in. Move your finger to follow the arrow and hold your breath to the count of 3. Follow the last arrow and let out your breath. Star breathing is where you place your finger on the start dot and take a deep breath in and move to the next dot. On the dot, hold your breath for the count of 3. Then breathe out and repeat until you've made your way around the star. I like this one because it gives you a few more opportunities to get your breath under control. The lazy 8 breathing is another one of my favorites. Place your finger on the dot to begin. Trace the 8 and take a deep breath and then let it out. So where the circles say breathe out, that's where we'll breathe out, and then where it says breathe in, that's where we will breathe in. Another nice thing is if you take your palm and you lay it flat, with your other pointer finger, you can even just draw an 8 with your finger on the palm of your hand. It's another way to help calm yourself when you're in class or maybe during a test. Mindful dot breathing. This is where we're counting down from 10. So we start by placing our finger on dot 10. Take a deep breath and slowly release it. Move your finger and count slowly to 1. Remember to breathe in and out on each dot. If you don't have your handouts with you, this one you can just use each of your fingers with. So if you just hold your fingers out and your palms flat, I like to use my pointer finger to my thumb and count through my fingers. Cupcake breathing. Who doesn't love a good cupcake? To do cupcake breathing, take a deep breath in and smell the frosting. If it's really good frosting, we're going to want to take a really deep breath of this. After we've smelled our frosting, hold your breath as you think about your wish. And then proceed to blow out the candle. Polar bear breathing. Imagine you are a polar bear, or you can use another animal of your choosing. Take a big breath in through your nose. Hold it. Now breathe out through your nose. The nice thing about this one is that you don't need any fidgets in order to complete this. At any point of the day, you can just stop and think of an animal. Maybe it's a polar bear, or maybe it's your pet dog, your pet lizard, whatever animal you would like to practice this with. Butterfly breathing. Now this one you do need a little bit more space. So if you're taking a brain break, out at recess, or maybe in a safe spot in the hallway, or at home, you take a deep breath, and as you take your deep breath, you open your arms or your wings. And then when you let your breath out, you bring your arms or wings back together again. This one's nice because it helps also distract your mind by incorporating movement. A body scan. Take a scan of your body starting with your toes. Move your toes back and forth. Next, move your calves and flex them up and down. Then take a few deep breaths and notice how your chest rises and falls with each breath. Move your shoulders and shrug them up to your ears and down again. Move your fingertips, and lastly, rotate your neck and head to the left and then the right. Notice how your body feels as you move your body and again after you take your scan. If you'd like to pause this now and try this one, I would definitely suggest it. I like to use this when I'm trying to go to sleep at night to calm my mind, but you can use this in a variety of places. Also, if you find one of the movements feels better, spend more time on that area. Grounding. Grounding's a fun one. In this one, we're going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first we start with the number 5, and we're going to describe 5 things that you see. This can be anything in your surroundings. So for instance, I'm at home right now. I see my dog, I see my puppy, I see my phone, my TV, and my husband. Next, describe 4 things that you feel. Now, sometimes I have students tell me that they can't feel things in the classroom. And you can look for different textures. So if you find maybe a smooth texture, the rough underside of your desk, this one you can really be creative, but it's just to bring your mind back together. Next, we'll describe 3 things that you hear. Then, describe 2 things that you smell. And lastly, describe 1 thing that you taste. Now, on the taste, I also get students that tell me, well, Mrs. Brown, I'm in class. I can't taste anything. Well, maybe you can taste air, or maybe you had a really good lunch, just barely. In this one, it's okay to also take a moment and just take a deep breath instead of actually tasting something if you prefer. Now that we've gone through a few of my favorite techniques for mindfulness that I've adapted from Carol Miller, the middle school counselor, go ahead and pick your favorite technique and share it with a trusted adult sometime today or a friend. Remember, you can review this show at any time. This is posted on YouTube and feel free to share it.